Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanscha Jai Paramaradha Srila Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Paramaradha Srila Swami Prabhupada Shiksha Gurudeva Ki Jai Paramaradha Jagat Guru Srila Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Samasta Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Nitai Gaura Haribo. So today I was receiving kind of revelation into the meanings of one of the most valuable verses of Bhagavad Gita, that is Arta Jigganshu Arthati Gyani Cha Bharatarshava Chaturvidha Bhajante Mam Jana Sukriti Norjuna. I received certain kind of revelation into the realization of the meanings, deeper meanings of this verse. So I would like to spontaneously speak on that. The deeper meaning, esoteric, inner meanings of such verse is also closely connected with our pure mode of Sharanagati, love, surrender, pure mode of loving dedication, pure mode of holistic love dedication, Sharanagati. So I received a beautiful revelation, wonderful revelation, that the central theme, central point of all this, I repeat, the very central point or essential point of this verse is Arta, Aarti. So, Aarti is very much found in the definition of Sharanagati. Daina, Aarti. In many of the Bengali songs, it is defined as Dainarti Mula. Daina, the Vaishnava humility, pure devotional humility. And Aarti means hankering, desperate craving, hankering for loving our Lord, for loving our divine God and Goddess. Sometimes Aarti means it's a painful love hankering, cannot wait anymore. Waiting is so painful. It is painful in a positive sense. Waiting so much desperation, it brings some positive pains of yearnings, hankering. So, that is Aarti. Positive painfulness like we find in hunger, feel during hunger, during our thirst. As soon as you are drinking water, drinking nectar, when you are very, very thirsty, at that moment when you start drinking water, appeasing thirst, the happiness taste behind drinking water gets multiplied because of the thirstiness. So this thirsty nature is like there is a positive pain. In the thirst, in the feelings of thirst, there is some strain. There is positive strain. While we are feeling hungry, it's a positive strain. It is an experience of certain type of pain, but it's a strain. As soon as you start eating nutritious, delicious food, hunger is appeased, you find extra taste in that. It won't happen other moments without hunger. One won't get such taste at other moments without hunger. So Aarti, it's a strenuous craving, strenuous hankering due to intense love feelings, love yearning, love hankering. Aarti. But that conception of the Aarti is connected with the loving humility in a positive sense. Another fold of the meanings of Aarti means when we are faced with danger, when we are experiencing in our life life-threatening danger. Another word, we are just in a stake, in a most difficult situation like turmoil, and then we feel so helpless, helplessly pained, distressed, and in that moment we remember of the Supreme Lord and we become engaged in our prayer, purest prayer, desperate prayer for receiving help from the grace of the Supreme Lord to rescue us from that turmoil situation, from that great difficult situations of the turmoil, most distressful. Then we truly dive deep into our prayer, desperate prayer to the Lord for saving us from that dangerous situation, most helplessly turmoil situation. That is another fold of the meaning of the Aarti. So we can understand the term Aarti, Aarti. I've got both folds of the meanings according to the context. When Krishna says, Artha jiggasu artharthi ganicha bharatasava, the very central point of the verse, central point of the meaning of the verse, I realized today, is Aarti. Both ways of Aarti. Both definitions of the Aarti. Why? Because that stage of Aarti makes us remember of the Lord, makes us closely connected to the Lord, makes us be desperately connected to the Lord through our prayers, through our feelings. That Aarti makes us be yearning, to connect to the Lord, to accept the shelter of the Lord, feeling helpless, feeling so much intensity of the yearnings. That's why that is the central point, central guiding point, Aarti. Krishna spoke of it first. And it's also covering to the end of the meaning. Not only it is starting at the starting point, but it is also ending. And then Lord Krishna said, Artha Jiggashu Artharthi Gyani Cha Bharatar Shabha Chaturvidha Bhajanti Mang Jana Sukritini Arjuna. These four kinds of virtuous persons, four types of virtuous persons, fortunate persons who have the experiences of Aarti, means intense craving, intense prayer, intense or desperate prayer, or prayers of desperation, being in turmoil situation, or being in very intense love attachment with me, humility to connect with me. This one. Then Jiggashu, other division, other category, who wants to connect with me out of intense queries, intense curiosity, intense curiosity or inquisitiveness, deepest inquisitiveness to know about me, find out about me, in relation to me, about his life and universe. But that's also in connection with me, Jiggashu. Next category, other category, Artharthi. Being great needy, finding oneself great needy, Artharthi. Became very poor, became so needy, destitute, wanting some wealth from me, desperately wanting some wealth, riches from me to support his life. Wanting, in other words, wanting the necessities of life to be fulfilled by me, being in helpless situation with prayerful, deep, intense prayerful mood, Artharthi. Artharthi, wanting his necessities, dire necessities to be fulfilled by me in helplessness, Artharthi. Then other categories, Gyani. Simply to be acquiring knowledge about me, to be with intense intention, deepest, most sublime, deepest intention and hankering to acquire all knowledge about me, wisdom about me, to know me, realize me through the path of knowledge. It is beyond curiosity or questioning, knowing something out of great curiosity or inquisitiveness. It's beyond that. I want to have the holistic knowledge and wisdom about you, full realization about you through knowledge. Gyanis do that. So that is other category. So all these 4 categories of the fortunate, virtuous people come to relate with me, come to connect with me. They come to do bhajan of me. They sincerely come forward to engage in worshipping me, doing my bhajan. So all these 4 categories are considered as separate from each other, generally. I repeat, all in general, commonly, all these 4 categories of the people, fortunate people of all these 4 categories are considered like individual categories and following, following some individual paths to relate to Krishna, connect to Krishna. To the path of Aarti, the path of Jignasa, being Jignasu, inquirer, to the path of Artharthi, wanting wealth, riches, or wanting Lord to satisfy the dire needs, and the other one to the path of knowledge. So they connect to the Supreme Absolute. I repeat, all connect to the Supreme Absolute, Divine Supreme Absolute, superpower, personality of the superpower, through the individual paths. They are individualized categories, therefore. But through our deeper vision, we can realizing the deeper meanings. All these 4 categories also interrelatedly connected with each other. It can be. On that state, they no more remain just separate from each other, totally separate category from each other. They get bound, they become unified together, complementing each other. And that is done by the central point of the meaning of this verse, Aarti. Aarti means intense hankering. Intense craving, intense hankering. So that intense hankering relates to all other 3 categories, connects, and also qualify them to the extreme. Because of the Aarti, because Aarti has got the fine, best qualities of humility, mood, and that humility also complements the mood of surrender, love dedication. And love dedication also further complements the mood of humility, loving humility. That's what we find so much in Braja Gopis, Srimati Radha Thakurani, in spite of the fact they receive so much nectarine wealth to the limitlessness, still they are engaged in praying to Krishna, praying to their beloved. In spite of having so much loving claim, intense loving demand and claim over their supreme beloved Lord Krishna, yet they are also full of love, humility. We find so much Aarti. We find through the verses of Gopi Gita, Bhramara Gita, Uddhava Sandesha, how Braja Gopis and their queen Srimati Radharani even having so much Aarti. So much Aarti, desperate love, hankering, love, wanting.
You used in another darshan the word obsession.
Obsession in a positive sense.
Yes. I thought that was very striking, that word,
Obsession.
the use of that word.
Yes. Obsessive hankering.
In this darshan, which was in Bengali.
Can use. You can
said-
use, but in a positive sense, because the term obsession may also mean in a mundane way, negative way, illusory, something harmful, okay, to the body and mind. But while we can use the term obsession in a positive sense, that is very appropriate word to use.
You said it's essential. You
Essential.
were very emphatic. You said very strongly, obsession must be there.
Extreme infatuation, obsession. Yes. So, Aarti. And that Aarti intensifies the connection of the Aarti with the other categories, qualifies them greater to the greatest way. Aarti complements and qualifies our jignasa. Jignasa means it gets beyond our satisfying curiosity, much more than it's like life-changing questions, life-saving questions. That is that kind of jignasa, life-saving queries. Some of the queries of Parikshit, King Parikshit was like that. Some of the queries, the nature of queries by King Parikshit to Shukadev Goswami was like that. Were like that. Life-saving, life uplifting, life-sheltering queries. Much beyond satisfying curiosity. Jignasu, then Artharthi. Then the definition of the necessities. Devotees are wanting, those fortunate people wanting Lord to satisfy, becomes much higher than remains limited, remaining just limited within the mundane kind of wanting wealth and riches from the Lord, and therefore means extreme sakama bhakti. But it surpasses that level of extreme sakama bhakti. Because the qualification of the kamona, I want this, I want that from the Lord, this surpasses the mundane level, mundane riches or mundane wealth. Okay? Then artha means I need this, the definition of their needs, the wealth and riches surpasses the mundane wealth and mundane concept of the riches. It becomes more spiritualized.
Paramarthik projan.
Paramarthik. It becomes paramarthik need. Not just artha means ultimate unbridled sense of the meaning of the artha reaches the paramartha. Superior artha. Not it doesn't stay limited only within the mundane kind of artha or prayojanam. Artha means prayojanam, necessity. So the in unbridled sense of the meaning of the artha never remains limited only within mundane concept of the riches or wealth which can satisfy our needs, limited needs. It surpasses the mundane concept of the need, necessities. Riches, paramartha, superior need, superior prayojanam, superior necessities. What is superior necessities? None other than connecting with Krishna, receiving the riches and wealth of Krishna consciousness, simply receiving the needs, necessities, highest needs, highest necessities of life in the form of the transcendental wealth and riches. of the ecstatic Krishna consciousness, ecstatically loving, ecstatically love qualified, love unified Krishna consciousness, love impregnated, love unified, love upsurged, love fulfilled Krishna consciousness. I'm looking for appropriate words. Love fulfilled Krishna consciousness, no ordinary Krishna consciousness. So, Aarti level can be uplifted on that stage. Aarti. State of Aarti can be so qualified with such upliftment to Paramartha. Arthat, Jnani. And the desperate hankering to know Krishna, to have knowledge about Krishna, the stage of Jnanam, no more remains limited or guided by some hankering to understanding Krishna through intellectual ways, by intellectual ways. Feelings come. In that Jnanam, at some point, through that path of Jnanam, more lights of realization starts coming, surpassing the level of trying to understand Krishna through hypothesis or intellectual, calculative knowledge. Beyond the level of calculative knowledge, what Mahaprabhu said, Jnana Shunna, Rai Ramananda Sangvad, it was stated as Jnana Shunna level, meaning beyond the limited mundane knowledge. And that fortunate Jnani who became so eagerful to have knowledge about Krishna, now he is promoted to have surpassed knowledge of Krishna. In the beginning, he or she can remain on the state with the mode of knowing Krishna through respectful knowledge, through more calculative knowledge and wisdom. But at some point, Bahunang Janmanam Ante Jnanovan Mang Prapoddate, that stage comes. After many, many births, after many, many lives, after having many, many lives, the most fortunate Jnani can realize me properly beyond the limits of calculative knowledge. At that point, he becomes my devotee. He cannot but bend down, offer his heads, bend down his head, paying obeisance to my lotus feet with the mode of dedication, total devotional submission, to embrace this shelter of my lotus feet.
The hankering and the fulfillment.
So then, that knowledge, that those category of the Jnani no more remain as ordinary type common Jnanis. They become my devotee.
Yes, in the fulfillment.
Fulfillment of all knowledge is found in my devotional realization. Submissive through loving submission, cannot but they have to do it. They become so attracted by me. They become so realized about me. They cannot but feel irresistible devotional attraction towards me with devotional realizations of me, the samambonam, this samambonam state about my knowledge. So there, that is the state of the siddhi of those gyanis in loving devotion of me. Having realization through my loving devotion. Having realization of me through my loving devotion. And at that point, that state, they see me, feel my presence. They cannot but see me everywhere, all around. Feel my deep presence, omnipresence all around in the form of all-pervading superpower called Vasudeva Sarvam. Iti sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Vasudeva Sarvam, in another word, seeing me, feeling my presence, having my omniscient, omnipresent vision as all-pervading superpower all over, all around. Vasudeva Sarvam. Iti sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That kind of Mahatma actually very, very rare to be seen. Not all Gyanis can have that qualification. Not all Gyanis can have that upliftment. The most fortunate Gyanis can have. The ones most fortunate can only have such a rare qualifications. Back to the point. I'm connecting back to the meaning of the verse of Gyanis in this verse. Arto jiggasu arthati gyanicha bhavatasam. See, Gyanam. The best of all Gyanis found in the Pragyano Leela Puram, state of Pragyanam, much beyond calculative knowledge. Knowledge is received through ambrosial devotion. Knowledge is received through ambrosial devoted realizations, through Aarti. Aarti comes there. So that Jnanam, stage of Jnani, cannot be without Aarti. See, the central point of the meanings of such verse, inner, essential point, essential controlling, central principle of the meaning of this verse, Arto jiggasu arthati gyanicha bharatasam, is Aarti. That Aarti can give us everything, the highest fulfillment, can take us to the highest fulfillment of life. When jiggasu, when the faculty or aspect of jiggasu, arthati and gyani all becomes connected and guided by the Aarti, they all become so fulfilled. They receive their highest fulfillment. They no more remain a separate category, each separate category, which is commonly explained. That's why it's commonly explained in a separately categorical way. But the final stage, all these four paths become unified into oneness. Controlled by Aarti, affected by, deeply affected by, influenced by central principle Aarti. And in the stage of the Aarti, we can best connect to Krishna, can best relate to Him through prayers. See, we don't remember of Krishna, we don't remember of our divine God and Goddess in a normal way so much. When we remain normally very happy, we often remain forgetful. normally flowing with happiness, we remain forgetful. But then only we remember of Supreme Lord so deeply, so closely, so desperately, when we find ourselves in great need, great necessity, in great difficulties, great turmoil of our life. Then we become engaged in desperate prayer to the Lord to save us. We desperately embrace the shelter of the Lord. So much submission, so much hankering. Such intensity of the hankering, wanting, is not even found in the common state of Jignasu or Aarti or Jnanam. But when this Aarti, principle of Aarti is complementing them, connecting to these aspects, Jignasu, then Arthati state of Jignasu, Arthati and Jnani, then they also change their qualities. They also become highly, superiorly qualified. Surcharged. And they become something else. And they all become unified together into oneness. And this revelation I received. Revelation of such deeper meaning I received.
Beautiful. That thread. And nullifies any misconception that one devotee is somehow superior than another. That's a superficial understanding of that verse, I think.
Mm-hmm. Although Krishna says, Chaturvidha bhajante ma, these 4 categories of the fortunate persons engage in worshipping me. Although Krishna says 4 categories, but he is putting all those 4 categories of the most fortunate people into one verse. In his one verse, it's a meaningful, very significant meaning. They can also be bound in one relation. They can also be bound, into oneness, be unified together. 4 categories can also get unified together, be interrelated with each other. Therefore, he's saying 4 categories in one verse, not in separate verse, placing them together, side by side, Artha, Jignasu, Arthati, Jnani, Cha, Bharatar, Sabha. That's significant. Also, although he says 4 categories, he says 4 categories of the fortunate people. So, there's one binding principle is there, that all of them are virtuous, fortunate persons in relation to me. So the common ground between these 4 categories, one common ground and relationship or nature between these 4 categories is that they are all trying to connect with me, relate with me, maybe through different paths, but their final goal, they have got one holistic goal, central goal, to connect with me. Although through different paths, but to connect, final goal, ultimate goal, to connect with me, relate with me. So that is the common, all accommodating, all harmonizing, all accommodating principle here, which is unifying all these 4 categories into one. See? All the best meaning of all these most fortunate 4 categories becoming fulfilled, being unified into great oneness. And that unifying principle is Aarti. Yes. So devotees may question. Krishna says Chaturvidha, 4 categories. But answer is given, is implied there. In a common way, the answer is implied there, but in a deeper way, it is no more implied. It is vivid, vividly said in a hidden, more esoteric sense. More esoteric sense, the 4 categories are accommodated into one relationship with Krishna, one relation of the interest with Krishna, are also vivid. Then at that stage, it can no more remain as just 4 categories separate from each other, all getting together, unified together.
The exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
Nice.
They reach exclusivity. Extreme, final inclusivity.
Duto. Yes.
Inclusivity and exclusivity. Both. Like we say, in and out.
Nice.
Inclusivity and exclusivity.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Brilliant.
And so finally Lord Krishna says, all of them are supremely fortunate. Commonly he did not say supremely fortunate, but ultimate sense, Krishna says, all of them are very, very fortunate. Greatly, greatly fortunate. So his common definition, his common way of recognizing all 4 categories to be highly fortunate also binds them together. That's also common principle. Because they are all highly fortunate to relate with me, to connect with me.
So then taking this principle, this wonderful holistic principle that's complete, and then applying that to Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttamadhikari, how does it work there as well in the categories of devotees?
Again, it depends on the adhikara. Artha Jignasha, Arthati, Ganicha, Bharata, Saho can start from Kanishta Adhikar. Then its degree, quality, its degree or qualities of the development of how much Artha, how much Jignashu, how much Artharthi, how much Gyani wants to acquire knowledge of Krishna can be more and more. It can grow further. So degrees, the development can be further, more and more in a dynamic way. So adhikaro depends on that. So adhikaros will be Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama adhikaro will be depending on the level of the growth, natural developments of their degrees or levels or qualifications.
There's many times I've heard you say the character of the devotee, the devotional character, and that's something I very much want to hear more about.
See, on the Uttamadhikari state, on the Uttamadhikari final Mahabhagavata state, see, all such explanation is not required. It becomes kind of irrelevant because it's a stage of fullness, fulfillment. So Artha, Jignashu, Arthati, Gyani, they all become fulfilled in one holistic realization, ambrosial love realizations about the Supreme God and Goddess. So they are not separately analyzed like this to the path of Aarti or Jignashu or Arthati or Gyani. All are fulfilled, in fulfillment. You know, just as when one is relating to the holistic being, holistic life and being, they are not separately analyzing function of heart or function of kidney, function of lungs or liver or hands or leg or organs, enjoying the holistic health.
Conjoined.
Enjoying.
Conjoined as well.
Conjoining, yes, in a conjoined way. Through conjugal, conjoining way, unified way. Enjoying the holistic health, holistic happiness of the holistic health without any particular analytical ways. Can be there sometimes. But when, you can imagine, when a person is full of health, full of energy and acceleration in exaltation, so much happy, extremely delighted, exalted, ecstatic, blissful. So in body, mind and spirit, through body, mind and spirit, not going to analyze in an analytical particular way, which way, how, which way organ is working, how, therefore I am feeling so much ambrosial bliss. All are working together as organic whole at that time, with the heart, lungs, liver, brain, they are coming into one being at that time.
Completely in the eternal present.
Internal present, holistically they are coming into one being, holistically working. They are no more separately working, although they have got individual existence, but they are merged into one existence beyond their individuality, working as organic whole, working as holistic organic whole. At that time, Advaya Jnana Brajendra Nandana Tattva. Advaya Jnana, holistic, ambrosial conception as the feelings and realizations, ecstatic love realizations of the Brajendra Nandana. So, we have to understand that. Perfection. Stage of fulfillment, perfection. Again, it's not a stage, it's not a plane of perfection. That is what it is. It is all encompassing, all unifying. It's our limited way, relative way of our expression. We use plane or stage. It's not much beyond this world, this whole universe, instead of a plane or stage. Gaurari, Aarti jigghāsu artharthi, Gyani cha bharatarshabha, Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Again, Krishna is using very significant special term there. Bhajante mam. How bhajan can be, how real bhajan can be possible without Aarti? Not possible. Again, Chaturvidha bhajante mang, by the term bhajante, Krishna is meaning Aarti is the guiding principle in this verse. Bhajana cannot come. Bhajana means, here in a more common general sense of the meaning, this four categories of the greatly fortunate people engage in worshipping me. Common way of explanation. But in unbridled sense of the explanation, full-fledged conception of explanation, bhajante mang means ultimately they engage in devotional worships of me. Loving devotional worships of me. They engage in that kind of, that high class, highest class of worshipping of me, filled with loving devotion. filled with loving devotional realizations of me. No more ordinary kind of bhajana. No more ordinary kind of Kanishtadhikari or primary class of Madhyamadhikari worshipping. They can reach the real level of the bhajana, real bhajana of mind. They can ultimately reach the highest level of bhajana of mind. The term of bhajana here also significant. One fold of the meaning of the term bhajana here, bhajante mang means meaning general common conception of engaging in worshipping of the Lord. Other one is full-fledged definition. Okay? Unlimited conceptions of engaging in loving devotional worships of Krishna with ambrosial realization.
But both are accommodated.
Both are accommodated.
Yes, because the Artati, once that wealth is obtained, then he may go away.
Yes.
But his desire has been fulfilled. And yes, some worship is there, but then the other kind, both is accommodated. as you
Bhajante
pointed out.
mang. So, the meaning of the term bhajante mang, very deep, very high, more than just common, normal kind of worshipping. Bhajante mang has got the meaning of relating to Lord Krishna through love worships, realizing him as bhajaniya guna vishishta, the way Jiva Goswami Prabhu explained. Seeing Krishna, feeling Krishna, realizing Krishna as the supreme object and subject of life, supremely attractive object and subject of life, who is so attractive, who has got so much wonderful, beautifully attractive love qualities, ecstatic love qualities, love beauties in him, so that one cannot but be irresistibly attracted to love him, to engage in relating with him through intense love. Such devotees cannot but do that. Bhajaniya guna vishishta. On that stage, bhajaniya guna vishishta means that the supreme beautiful Lord, supremely beautiful Lord of all ecstatic qualities, of all attractive, beautiful qualities, wonderful qualities, if one comes in a little bit connection with him, cannot but irresistibly attracted to love him, to engage in love worships, intense love worships of him, cannot stay away from that. He is Lord of such bhajaniya qualities. He is the ultimate Lord of such bhajaniya guna, bhajaniya qualities, so lovable qualities, so much ecstatically, lovably ambrosial qualities. I repeat, ecstatically, lovably ambrosial qualities, beauties, non-fathomable attractions, okay, unlimited attractions without any boundaries. That is bhajaniya guna vishishta. So, again, Chaturvidha, finally bhajante ma. All these four categories of most fortunate people, they become supremely fortunate in the ultimate state, in connection with the Aarti, being qualified by the Aarti qualification, so that ultimately they engage in ecstatic love worships of me. Bhajante mam jana sukriti no arjuna.
Cannot but help.
Here the term sukriti should be defined as not in ordinary sense. Sukriti, most some virtues received, great virtues received, great divine merits received through most virtuous acts of engaging in my service. That is called Sukriti here. Opposed to Duskriti. Sukriti. Shu has got unbridled sense of meanings. Su means good. In unbridled sense of the meaning of the good means highest good. And Kriti means accumulation of the highest good through the highest virtuous acts. So here the term Sukriti no Arjuna, Sukriti, should also be understood not only in common, ordinary way, like virtuous people.
Not just pious.
Pious
Not
way.
just pious.
Not just pious. High classly, supremely
Calculated,
pious. Yes.
exclusive, pointed, one-pointed.
Yes. Supremely pious.
Yeah.
Okay. Highestly pious, supremely pious people. They can reach that level. They can be considered not only as nicely pious, just pious, nicely fortunate pious people, but can be considered as highestly fortunate, supremely fortunate, pious, virtuous people. Okay, at some point can be so qualified. Bhajante ma. That is said, that is esoterically meant by Bhajante ma. Jana Sukriti Arjuna. Krishna used this term Bhajante, Bhajantu, Bhajanti, Bhajante several places in Bhagavad Gita. Another verse, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenoma Upajantite. Another Upajantite, another concept of the bhajana. When Krishna says Upajantite, another deep conception of the bhajana is there. Tesang satata yuktanang bhajatang pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenoma upajantite means can engage in my highest bhajana through the term, through the path upajantite. Then samohang sarva bhuteshu na me deshasti na priya. I repeat that verse, one of the wonderful verses from Bhagavad Gita. Samohang sarva bhuteshu na me deshasti na priya. Je bhajanti tu mang bhaktya moi te tesu chappaham. Generally, commonly, I have got equal mood and equal vision to one and all. I am not partial to anyone. Generally, commonly, I am never partial to anyone. Okay, and I have equal mood and equal stand of justice and vision to one and all. I have neither mood of friendship nor animosity. I am just neutral stand. From a neutral stand, I am well-wisher of one and all with equal spirit. The next line, but in relation to my own devotees, I definitely become partial. Je bhajanti tumang bhaktya, those who engage in my love worships, in my devotional worships, with all their mind, heart and everything, all their mind, heart and whole life, the soul. I cannot remain as neutral equal to them. I become partial. I have no choice. I become partial to them. I become so lovingly partial to specially favor to those my devotees. I cannot stay anymore as neutrally detached way of well-wishing. I cannot stay anymore as in the stand of neutrally detached well-wishing type. I become so attached with my devotees to do special favors to my own devotees because they engage in love worships to me, with me, love relations with me. So again, bhajanti. Je bhajanti tumang bhaktya, one who lovingly worships me with great loving devotion. Tumang bhaktya. Moi te sucha. I am specially for him or her, for that devotee. I am completely with that devotee, and that devotee is always also with me. We are living together with each other. Moi te sucha. I am with him, I am with that devotee, and that devotee is always with me, living with me. Eternally living in connection with each other, eternally connected with each other. See, bhajanti. Then another verse. I remember. Ye jatha mang prapadanti tang stathaiva bhajam. There Krishna using the term bhajana for him. Ye jatha mang prapadanti, the way, the quality, the intensity of loving dedication and devotional service one surrenders to me with, one dedicates unto me with through love service. I also reciprocate with them accordingly. I also engage in bhajana with those devotees. I also engage in worshipping them, lovingly worshipping those devotees of mine according to their degree, levels, qualities of their love reciprocation, love worships towards me, with me. I also do the same, reciprocate with those devotees in the same way, accordingly. Beautiful, one of the wonderful verses. Jigathamang prapadanti tang stathaiva bhajamaham. I feel like repeatedly reciting such verses.
Please do, Maharaj.
Jiyathamang prapadanti tang stathaiva bhajam. Dadami buddhi yogam tang yena mam upayanti te. Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mang namastu. Mameva vaishyashi yuktaivam atmanam matparayana. Another way of the same verse. Mame vaishyashi sattanti pratijani priyosime. Both ways. Gaur Hari Bol. Then Arta Jignasha Artharth Gyani Cha Bharatasya Chaturvidha Bhajanti Ma. Jana Sukritino Rijuna. In the life of a pure devotee, all these four categories, four qualified categories, also get assembled together, but in a very high class, in a very best class way, together. In the lives of the pure devotees, we find great queries, great pariprasnas, jiggasu, arthati, great hankering for receiving the wealth of Krishna consciousness, treasure of Krishna consciousness, arthati, jnani, great hankering for knowing Krishna Radhika more and more through devotional services, through their loving devotional realizations. So pure devotees have just such hankering to know them more through their devotional realizations, through their love dedications. So, in an unbridled sense, in unbound, unlimited sense of its meanings, it reaches the category of the pure devotees. So, that was your Guru Maharaj once stated. He once nicely explained that how he received revelations of the meanings of the same verse of Bhagavad Gita in multiple ways. One meaning at a time, at certain other moments. Once a devotee asked Guru Maharaj in a cute way, okay, Guru Maharaj, you have already explained the meaning of this particular verse of Bhagavad Gita in another way the other day. Another way. Today you are explaining in different way. Another different way. Which one is more prominent or more appropriate, which one not? Guru Maharaj smilingly said, both are very appropriate and very true. We cannot compare. All these verses of Bhagavad Gita, all such verses of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or other holy scriptures have got multiple meanings, multidimensional meanings. It is not always limited only with one way of expression and explanation of the meanings. And often, sometimes I receive the other way of the revelations of the meanings of the same verse. I understand this is another dimension, another form of the meanings from the same verse. They are all living. So don't consider that you have understood one way of the meanings of such verse, okay, and this is the way of explanation and finished. No, stay more and more open to be receiving other dimensional, other revelations of the other deeper meanings of the same verse. It happens.
Don't be like the man whose desire for wealth was fulfilled and thank you, Krishna, and go away.
No. Rather opposed to that. Therefore, Guru Maharaj once explained about thank you. He didn't like the term thank you at that
I've heard
mood.
this, yes.
Okay, that's what he wanted to mean. Don't be thanking Krishna, or don't be thanking the pure devotees of Krishna. Just expressing some gratitude in a common way, expressing some gratitude. Oh, thank you, Krishna, thank you, my Lord, thank you, Gurudev, and then I have expressed my gratitude and complete. My transaction, my offering of my gratitude is complete. Okay, I don't need anymore. I don't need to express it more. I don't need to offer my gratitude more. No, then you have limited your progress. You become enemy to yourself. Rather, it is a concept of the infinite loving gratitude to continue all through the devotional life, to the limitlessness. That's what is the nature of our relationship with Krishna and feelings of our eternal, infinite gratitude towards Krishna Radhika, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Panchatattva, towards our Srila Gurudev, Guru Varga, Akhanda Guru Tattva, I mean, towards our Guru Varga, Guru Tattva.
Sthaya Bhava is not static. It cannot
Not
be.
always. Not always. Sthaya Bhava includes both aspects. Some portion of static nature, some basic foundational aspects and portion must be of static nature. But on the top of that, in addition to that, some other portion of further acceptance in the life with that Sthaya Bhava should be of dynamic character, added more. And that addition never disturbs or replaces anything of that Sthaya Bhava.
But nourishes.
But that addition nourishes further in harmony.
Yeah.
It doesn't create any rasabhas or any kind of disharmonious, way. Rather, like in an ideal musical concert, you add many more instruments, musical instruments, it rather enriches the concert. That addition never disturbs the concert.
That's why the master musician can also be improvisational.
Exactly.
Only a master musician.
Exactly. One who knows how to come and master.
Who knows the rules inside and out.
Yes.
And then can bend and twist the rules.
Exactly. Can do that. And master musicians also see the potential and feel into the possibilities, realistic possibilities of so many ways of the improvisations, subtle ways of the improvisations.
Wonderful point.
So, commonly, there is a concept, if anything is added further to this Sthaya Bhava, some portion of this Sthaya Bhava may be disturbed or changed, replaced and changed. No, that's not the real concept. Rather, instead of replacement, it adds further nourishment. Instead of disturbing, it complements, nurtures further, in further harmonious dimension and progressions, through further progressions, through addition, so becomes so harmonious concert. Okay, without changing Sthaya Bhava, foundational Sthaya Bhava at all. That's how it happens. Nabo nabo navayo mano. Hare Krishna. I just spontaneously started speaking to you. I also relished to explain about my new lights of revelations.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Beautifully presented.
And there's also some special happiness in sharing it.